Hey, welcome to Unshaved. I'm Takesha, and this podcast came to be simply because I wanted to archive conversations between me and my mother. And because we talked about pursuing a creative project together for a long time now, I just figured starting a podcast would kind of fit the bill for both. Our lives and relationship have had many twists, turns, highs, and lows, and the way we've gotten through them always started with raw conversations. We're consistently pursuing a deeper understanding of not only each other and our relationship, but also of ourselves. If the topics and conversations explored in this space help you to navigate your journey in any way, then that's even better. So whether it's just myself or if I'm joined by my mom or other guests, you can expect content that is explorative, honest, and maybe even just a little bit outside the lines. Welcome to Unshaved. Thank you to those of you that are returning listeners, as well as to those of you tuning in for the very first time. So you just get me today. I kind of want to tell you a story. When I was a child, between elementary school and middle school, there were things that made me feel inadequate, mainly my home life. I didn't grow up with my mother as a primary caretaker. From a very young age to about 11 years old, until I was 11, when I was growing up, I didn't see other people in my family, friends. I didn't see other children that had an experience similar to mine. But I saw a lot of them having the same types of experiences, the same environment growing up. If it wasn't both of their parents, it was at least one of them. I was embarrassed in different ways. I don't know if it was so much embarrassed by my mom or just embarrassed of myself and the truth of my scenario versus my peers. I didn't want to admit that my mother wasn't around and that she also wasn't around, most likely because she was having some type of drug binge. I don't know. I didn't want to believe myself, let alone share with my peers or my friends, or share with my friends that my mom was on drugs and she wasn't around for months. I hadn't talked to her. So I remember when I decided that a cousin who we lived together and she took care of me like a parent would, and I just decided that I was going to say that she was my mother. We'd figure it out. And she didn't mind, and I don't know if I just wanted to create a story for myself, like just imagine it being a little different for me. I don't remember exactly. I just remember creating the story and then sharing it, even though some people didn't believe it initially. I just eventually just kept telling it until they believed it. I felt pretty convinced myself. I mean, in some way it was very true for me. My mom wasn't there all the time and my cousin was there. She was the one helping me to get ready for school, helping me with my homework, talking to me about boys and, those things that me and my mom kind of missed out on to that degree at that age. And even when we did, she wasn't trying to hear anything about me talking to little boys. I mean, I was in elementary school. We all had like little boyfriends and girlfriends growing up. But anyway, there's this one particular guy that I really liked. He was very smart. We can talk on the phone for a long time. Well, until we had our curfews. We had the same curfews and things like that. And you know, sometimes back then you break up, you get back together, whatever. In elementary school, he was my boyfriend for a little while. And then we broke up, and well, we broke up. He dumped me. Is that more accurate? He dumped me, yeah, and it did break my heart a little bit. I remember being in the tub. I was chilling. I come out and my cousin is like, "Oh yeah, so and so called. Y'all don't go together no more." And I'm like, "I stopped lying." I went downstairs to my cousin, who I was saying is like a mom. Well, was like a mom at that time. And she just, she broke it to me. She was like, "No, it's true." And that was my first little heartbreak. And she was there to help me through that, help me to muster up the strength to keep my head up and go to school next day and not be terribly embarrassed. But anyway, middle school, I had another chance to be his girlfriend, and I took it. But eventually we'd break up again. And there were always these like abrupt breakups, you know, that I didn't understand. And I remember, well, because in middle school, now I'm living with other family members, and they happen to know this kid. And one day I was talking and then one day my uncle came to me and he said he was talking to the boy because it wasn't low key. Like, everybody knew that I really, really liked him. But my uncle, I guess, wanted to know why he didn't like me the way I liked him, or why he broke up with me. I don't really remember the details. It was a long time ago. There is a point to this story. So he tells me that he had the opportunity to sit down with him and ask him a question. He's like, "Hey, you know, why don't you like my niece?" I believe that's how we started off. And he said that the boy told him it was because I lied. And I tried to rack my brain. I racked my brain for a moment trying to figure it out. And I was like, what did I lie about? My uncle told me that it was because you lied about who your mother was. I was a pretty honest kid. And that was something that I regretted. I regretted lying to him, but there were some things I just wasn't ready to talk about at that time, or to share, or just for anybody to know. It was like, it wasn't a lie for me that was meant to hurt anybody or make me to seem like this false type of person. I needed that lie for myself. This young boy taught me such a valuable lesson. Because when I learned that, I had made it up in my mind that I would never risk someone that I admired so much not being able to really trust me or like me or not want to stay in a relationship with me because I was dishonest. I learned at a very early age that I had to face who I was, the circumstance that I was in, just be real about that. It almost makes me think of another lesson from my auntie, my mom's older sister, her oldest sister, who's passed away now. Rest in peace to my auntie. She was doing my hair one day and she was brushing it all back into a ponytail. And I started to freak out. I was like, what are you doing? I covered my forehead. And she's like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? I said, no. I can't wear my hair all back like that. And she's like, why? I was like, I need bangs to cover my forehead. She's like, what? I was like, they tease me at school. My friends tease me and they say I have like a 5 head and they draw pictures and they call me forehead. I was like, I just want bangs to cover it. And my aunt said, yeah. She was like, well, this is your forehead, Takesha, and it will always be your forehead. Do you want to walk around the rest of your life being uncomfortable because someone else isn't comfortable with your forehead? You're going to need to get comfortable with it. And until you accept you, no one else will. I mean, I got that part pretty quickly. I said, you know what? Okay, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, go ahead, comb it back. I'm the one living in this life. I'm the one who is me. How can I be terribly uncomfortable within myself, tormented within myself because of how someone else feels in a different body? I didn't want to be that uncomfortable. I took her advice immediately, but maybe it was more of the shallow side. I didn't really get into the deep end, but and that's lessons, right? I could have maybe understood it then. Maybe I just didn't have the cognitive development to get deeper into the words she shared with me, that amazing wisdom that she imparted with me. But another opportunity came around. There was another lesson, and that was from the young man. So it's twofold. I learned that I need to be comfortable with who I am and to not allow other people's ideas or feelings about me make me uncomfortable about myself, because I have to live with me. And then I also learned what it meant to even to be honest with myself about those things that I don't like. So anyway, I hope you get what I'm trying to say with this. Next week, you'll hear me talking with my friend Nicolette. I think you'll find it interesting. I did. So I hope you come back next week and check out that conversation with Nicolette. And if you haven't heard the previous conversations, take some time to listen to it. Let me know what you think. I appreciate you for making time to listen in to this episode of Unshaved. Thank you. I genuinely hope you've enjoyed the show. If you have questions or suggestions for topics to explore, please email unshaved.podcast@gmail.com. Be sure to indicate if you'd like to be mentioned if your feedback or questions are addressed. I take it that you've enjoyed the content since you've made it this far. Depending on the platform you're hearing this on, let me know so we can really engage with one another. So drop a comment, click the star, download, subscribe, applaud, click the like button, and share this with others. Unshaved is on Facebook and Instagram. Also, you can show the show some love through donations on Anchor. Last but not least, remember you can turn on your notifications so you'll know when we're back with new episodes. Till then, let's continue to live with love and light.